And as a proud straight man, you're the best kind of person to ask this.
I have to drink a little coffee.
Yeah. So, do you think that women are good helpers?
Of course.
Oh no.
I must be straightforward, and I must be equal friendly, I suppose. But I think they can help a lot. Like even if they screw your life up.
Oh my god.
Or you screw their life up if you get together or something.
So you know this was meant to be like a sarcastic question that would like make us both be like, obviously that's a sexist question, and you're just like, no, they're great helpers. They can make your life hard, but they can also help it. You just went right down that sexist path with me. Wow.
Yeah, I tried to be sarcastic too, but I think it's both things are true. Like
what? Both what? What and what?
Like my answer, if they can help you a lot through, if you screw it up or.
Oh, I see. Women can help you improve your life.
Yeah, I'm talking about relationships here, but talking about everyday stuff.
They're not so helpful.
Or they can be.
I'm kidding.
But
we shouldn't even be questioning that. This got derailed. So.
Good question.
No, it's not a good question. The reason I asked you it, this is my real question, okay? So, in the Bible, in the first book, and the Bible is arguably the most influential book ever, right? And it's what Judaism, arguably Islam, Christianity are based off of, the cultural values and the stories. In the Bible, this is one of the first things it says about women. It's Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. It is not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him.
Nice.
Okay? So, this is God's idea of the woman's purpose, is to be man's helper, according to the Bible.
Which was written by...
Probably a man. So,
yeah.
This is the better question, actually, for you. The less sarcastic one. For us. Can you build a good society on a book that starts by saying women were created to be man's helper? Or is that always going to be a problematic value?
I don't think so. You can build healthy stuff on this. Like it's already a secondary role for women,
right?
According to the book,
right?
It's not going to happen this way.
So it's a bad thing that women are given a secondary role from the start of creation.
Wow, hard stuff. But it leads to a lot of questions here.
Leads to a lot of women. Yeah, they really don't really want to be secondary.
Yeah, why would they?
To me, I've always, I wasn't raised particularly religiously. And I know in Hungary a lot of people aren't either. But in a lot of parts of the world, a lot of people are. In the United States, there's a significant percentage of people that are raised religiously. And there are Christians who are really conservative, and there are Christians who are really what you would call politically liberal.
Mm-hmm.
But most of them don't talk about things like this. Like, you don't usually go to a church and hear a debate about whether or not the Bible is misogynistic. I think one of the reasons why is because it so clearly is. So that's always been kind of my question, is like, I love studying religion and I love knowing about different religions and the Bible and Christianity, but how do you take seriously a religion that starts with a statement like that?
Wow, nice questions.
How does an intelligent person, right?
Yeah.
How does an intelligent woman take seriously a religion that starts by saying, well, God said that, man shouldn't be alone and give him a helper. But let me tell you the rest of the story in case you haven't read Genesis. So he says that, right? First, that man needs a helper. So then he makes all these different kinds of animals. And he parades them in front of Adam. And Adam's like, no. And finally, after the alligator and the cow and the horse and the donkey all go past, and Adam is still completely unsatisfied, God decides to make a woman. And Adam is like, yeah, that's my helper.
Yeah, that's hot, man. I wasn't into, what is the name of when you have sodomy? If I'm right?
Sodomy?
Sodomy, yeah. If you are into animal stuff. Adam wasn't
Oh
into
yeah,
animal
no,
stuff.
Adam wasn't into sodomy. Yeah, he was
yeah.
very upstanding in that regard.
He needed the
Yeah.
woman, yeah.
He needed the helper, the
Wow,
non-animal helper. Yeah. But isn't that just a bad start? Isn't that like a shitty beginning? Like we're gonna just
the opposite, like.
Exactly. How would society be different if the story started? Well, a woman was sitting around, you know, tossing apples up in the air, and, or eating them, whatever she did with it, and I said, God, you know, I'm really fucking bored. You know, maybe you could make something with like something sticking out.
Yeah, would be nice.
It could be like a helper.
Yeah,
like
mood helper.
He could cut the lawn. He could go.
He could hunt.
He could fish. He could hunt. And then so God created like a cow, but the cow just gave milk. It didn't hunt worth shit.
Do you think it's all leading back to physical aspects, like men are bigger, stronger, can hunt, can do the physics, and women are gathering the fruits, the vegetables, and staying at the camp and something like this? Or is it totally bullshit?
But what do you mean by that? Do you mean that because that men were doing more of the actual hunting and women were doing more of the gathering, that's where our stories came from?
Yeah, but I think it's not a best point. I'm just making this up.
I don't think it's unreasonable. I think our stories come from our experiences, and if we live in an experience where men are always stronger, and you know, men have a biological advantage, right? You don't have to spend 9 months with double the size on your belly, so you can do a lot more shit in that time while you're not sitting there, you know, having morning sickness every day. So you have an advantage. So yeah, when you have an advantage, you become superior in terms of your position in society. And when you have a superior position in society, then you start to write stories which make it seem like that's what God wanted.
Yeah,
when really it's just what ended up happening. Maybe not necessarily what God wanted, but now that God wants it, we can feel good about it and make it even worse and be like, you're my helper! Don't talk back!
Yeah.
So.
But if you're really into a woman, you know, and if you're a leader, somehow the woman can manipulate you. So I like these ever-going secrets of politics and historical stuff when the leader's wife was telling to the leader sometimes in the night during their conversations or lovemaking or anything, and it could be reality the next day, you know, like if she was to convince the leader with something. So I think women were always more clever.
Or had to be.
Or had to be, yeah.
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 Use subtle ways of harnessing power, which now they're kind of blamed for, right? Oh, you're tricky, you know, you're always trying to go behind the scenes. Well, because you have to go behind the scenes when you're not part of the dominant structure.
Yeah, the power of the pussy.
Right, yeah. So the answer, you would say the answer to the question is no, you can't really build a very good society starting with a book like that?
I can agree with you.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
How do you convince Christians to delete that part?
I'm not trying to.
Well, we want a good society, right? So we have to get rid of the stories that create the unequal society. So we got to get them to erase that part somehow.
Yeah.
Go back and edit it and say, well, you know.
Yeah, like edit. You cannot erase anything from history, I think. Or can you? Like they say.
Like Jews.
Yeah, there's some few hundred years disappeared. They say.
Indians, we pretty much erased them. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't erase something.
It's a joke. We didn't, but they tried. No, we can't erase it from historical record, but we can erase it from the book that we say, this is the greatest book ever, and then you open it and you're like, I'm supposed to be a fucking helper? So that was my religious question.
Thank you.
What's on your mind right now? In life?
It was a big hassle because
a hassle or a hustle?
Hassle.
Hassle, like a problem.
Hassle, yeah. I always swept those words.
Swapped.
And these two.
And swept.
And I cannot speak English. And
we have to hear some Hungarian too. That's going to be really fun. It's a really fun language.
Oh yeah, it is.
Tell me first the problem in Hungarian, and then tell me in English.
Problem?
Yeah, but say it nice and loud so they can hear Hungarian.
Like I should say my...
Yeah, what you were going to say in English, just say it in Hungarian.
Okay.
Magyarul nemzettem a kvalifikáltan, a később a kettesek terekterekterekterekterik.
Oh,
see?
nice.
Very good. Now talk in real Hungarian, it's going to be the exact same.
Ma nagyon sok ember volt az utcán, akibe belemehettem volna, de mindenkit kikerültem ügyesen, és nagyon nehezen találtam meg a boltban azt a technikai felkészültséget képező eszköztárat, amivel...
Doesn't that sound exactly like what I just said? Can you even tell the difference? Can you? Like, it was pretty much identical.
Of course I can.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be Hungarian.
Slightly.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us in English.
Yeah, the hassle was about I fucked up my day.
Today.
Can we use words? It's YouTube.
I think you can.
You can say fuck.
Yeah.
So yeah, you cannot show tits. You can
Right.
show blood. But you cannot show tits. Yeah.
Right. No.
No?
Which ruins the last half of this, but whatever. We'll just have to do it without tits.
Yeah. The hassle was about I spent too much time of doing something I thought is gonna make less time. So
Today?
you
talking about getting the mic stand?
Yeah. Before the mic stand, I had some work to do, and it was.
He went and bought the mic stand so that we could do this video, and that's what he's bringing up now.
Yeah.
I'm asking you, like, what profound things are on your mind?
There isn't any.
What life-changing things are going on? You're like, well, I had a fucking hassle getting the mic stand for this video.
It would have been life-changing if I started soon earlier, the hassle, but it's gonna be it has to be spontaneous, I think. So we have those big thoughts, but in my opinion, it always comes as a reaction to something.
Mm-hmm.
Like in watching nature. If you go out to the forest, you can have some good time alone as well, and analyzing yourself and stuff.
Right.
Oh, wow, this is going on inside me. Or with your friends too. Wow, this is going on inside you. Wow, nice. But nowadays, I'm really happy we made this happen, and I'm really happy you'll be able to do it on your own from now on.
Solo flight. Yeah. Maybe after the second one. Okay, I have another question which is really pertinent, and it's good to ask when you're here. So, right now in the United States, there's like a news story every week about something about racism. Obviously, we have a history of racism. We had slavery for hundreds of years. We had a situation in which even 100 years after slavery, black people still couldn't use the same schools and drinking fountains. We have this whole history of racism, and then even today, we have racism still going on. So it's something that we're talking about a lot. Now, you come to Hungary, and it's considered like the most racist country in Europe. As a Hungarian, do you think it is very, very racist? And if so, why?